Like the Roman fort at Brough, Verteris was one in a chain of forts guarding the road over the Pennines to Carlisle. It was constructed during the governorship of Cneius Julius Agricola in AD 79 to 80. A castle was built on the remains of the Roman fort, probably in the reign of William Rufus at some time in the 1090s. Excavations have revealed that the Roman ditches had been re-excavated and deepened, and the spoil used to create banks on the line of the original Roman defences. The castle, therefore, was the same size and shape as the Roman fort. A ditch running east-west across the site defined an inner bailey, which seems to have been surrounded by stone walls, traces of which survive in the current north curtain wall, and the present keep overlies an earlier stone tower. In the 12th century, Appleby and Brough were the two principal castles of the Lordship of Westmoreland, held successively by Ranulph de Messines and the de Morvilles. Hugh de Morville forfeited his estates in 1173 for his part in the rebellion against Henry II, and Brough was then garrisoned by the Crown because of the threat of invasion from Scotland. In 1174, William the Lion of Scotland invaded the north of England. He besieged Carlisle and then marched south with his army. Brough was attacked and defended in a heroic tale by 6 knights. Henry II then granted the castle to Theobald de Valois in 1179, and he is, most likely, the builder of the present square keep. However, by 1199 the castle had again reverted to the Crown. In addition to other castles in the area, Brough was given to Robert de Vieux-Pont in 1203 by King John, and it was he who rebuilt Brough Castle. The rebuilt castle featured a dominating square keep, a fortified gatehouse, inner and outer ranges in the bailey, a set of stables, and kitchens, bakehouse and brewhouse. In 1264, Brough passed to Roger Clifford, and he carried out important work rebuilding the hall against the east wall, adding the circular Clifford's Tower at the southeast corner, and conducting substantial repairs to the curtain walls. Brough was devastated in a Scottish raid in 1314 and again in 1319, and was garrisoned in the early 1320s with a large garrison against further incursions. In 1424 the castle and manor of Brough were granted to Richard Neville, Earl of Salisbury, but Thomas, 8th Lord Clifford, eventually recovered Brough from Salisbury in 1436. In 1521 the castle was, to quote from the sources, set on fire by a casual mischance, so all the timber and lead was utterly consumed and nothing left but the bare walls standing, which since are more and more consumed and quite ruinated. Brough Castle was then abandoned until repairs were started by Lady Anne Clifford in 1659. Lady Anne visited the rebuilt castle briefly in September 1661, staying 1 night in Clifford's Tower and 2 in the keep. She put up an inscription recording her restoration work at the end of 1663. The Tuftons inherited the castle when Lady Anne died in 1676. Brough seems to have been maintained until around 1714, at which time most of Brough's roofs and fittings were sold for a total of £155. For an engraving of 1739 shows the hall and gatehouse range as a ruined shell, and the stables apparently gone. And in 1763 part of Clifford's Tower was pulled down to provide stone for Brough Mill. In 1920 Brough was placed in the guardianship of the Ministry of Works, now English Heritage, and shortly after, on 20th of May, the southwest corner of the keep collapsed, prompting excavation and consolidation of the ruin. It's quite a lot of this castle still remaining, so I'm considering that it's nice and free, which is my favourite word. It really is worth a visit. Bit uppy downy, have to mind your steps a bit. Means of a little flight of stairs going up. And we're going into the much later tower at the corner. Lovely piece, it's still got some of the plaster on the wall. There's a fireplace. It's called Clifford's Tower. Some lovely views from here. Right, and we're going to go and walkies up towards the keep, and we're going to have a little look around the keep. And we're minding our footing here because it's, although it's cobbled, it's not that good. Got some garderobes, and that wind's getting up again. I'll just do a reverse view so you can see where we've come from. And round, 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 round. And this is the keep. And it's quite an impressive keep, although there's nothing left of the inside. But we'll go in anyway. Sweep around to the upper floor. Lumps of it have gone. A nice little wall passage up there. And we'll go upstairs in a little while, although I think it might have been shut off now. That's a shame. We used to be able to get up there, as you can see. But I think, as you can see now, it's all been shut down. Thank you, English Heritage. So we should just pan around, and you can see it's quite small. Still some traces of plaster on the wall. There's the remains of a fireplace. The chimney going up. And views out the window. Get up there.